Nelson. Here's a look at what's going on this week in the news. We begin with news from the Vatican. As we reported earlier in the week, Pope Francis is now releasing his monthly prayer intentions via video on social media. In his very first video prayer message, Pope Francis asked people to join him in praying that interreligious dialogue lead to peace and justice. The Pope called for dialogue among religions and asked that people not stop praying for it and collaborating with those who think differently. Featured in the video were Buddhists, Jewish, Muslim, and Catholic religious leaders declaring their personal beliefs and that they believe in love. Though Pope Francis spoke in Spanish, each month's video will be available with subtitles in 10 languages throughout the whole year of Mercy. In news now from around the world, January 7th marked 1 year since the attack on the French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo. On that day, 17 people died at the magazine's offices in related shootouts. To reflect on the anniversary, the bishops of France issued a statement asking people what they had learned since the attack, if the tragedy provoked some genuine awakening in them, and if people have offered perspectives for the society of tomorrow by learning lessons from the past. The bishops say that the country's future must be built with mutual respect, recognizing everyone's contribution. Charlie Hebdo created new controversy with an anniversary cover cartoon depicting a blood-splattered God with a machine gun slung over his back, accompanied by a caption, "1 year on, the assassin is still out there." The design was criticized by the Vatican newspaper L'Osservatore Romano, which said it reflected the sad paradox of a world that is ever more careful about being politically correct, but that does not want to recognize and respect every believer's faith in God. This past week, French President François Hollande thanked religious leaders for promoting social cohesion and fostering understanding among fellow citizens. He added that his country needs to come together to confront the formidable menace of Islamist terrorism. We go back now to the Vatican. Pope Francis celebrated the Feast of the Epiphany with a Mass at St. Peter's Basilica. In his homily, the Pope talked about seeking the light of Christ like the Magi seeking the newborn King.
Oggi ci farà bene ripetere la domanda dei Magi. Dove è colui che è nato, il Re dei Giudei? Abbiamo visto spuntare la sua stella e siamo venuti per adorarlo. Siamo sollecitate soprattutto in un periodo come il nostro a porci in ricerca dei segni che Dio offre, sapendo che richiedono il nostro impegno per decifrarli e comprendere così la sua volontà. Siamo interpellati ad andare a Betlemme per trovare il bambino e sua madre. E una volta giunti davanti a Lui, adoriamolo con tutto il cuore e presentiamogli i nostri doni, la nostra libertà, la nostra intelligenza, il nostro amore. La vera sapienza si nasconde nel volto di questo bambino e qui, nella semplicità di Betlemme, che trova sintesi la vita della Chiesa. E qui la sorgente di quella luce che attrae a sé ogni persona nel mondo e orienta il cammino dei popoli sulla via della pace.
While the Pope was celebrating Mass with thousands of people inside St. Peter's, thousands more lined the main boulevard leading to St. Peter's Square for the traditional folkloric Epiphany celebration. Marching bands, Roman gladiators, and hundreds of people in Renaissance costumes paraded up the street, along with the three kings and real camels. And finally in the news, in October, Governor Jerry Brown of California signed a measure legalizing physician-assisted suicide despite staunch opposition from doctors, religious leaders, and advocates of disability rights. During the 90-day window to fight the law, opponents set out on a referendum drive but fell short of gaining the 365,880 signatures needed to place their proposal on the November 2016 ballot. The California's Bishops' Conference expressed their disappointment at the failed attempt. In a statement, Bishop Jamie Soto of Sacramento, the president of the conference, called for continued vigilance to protect the dignity of human life at all stages. Bishop Soto commended those who spearheaded the effort and said that the bishops were heartened by the tens of thousands of Californians who are demanding to have a voice in what he called one of the most dangerous public policies ever enacted in the state. The bishop pledged to continue working with the law's opponents to explore ways of protecting the most vulnerable Californians from the pressure created by this new policy. And that is all the information we have for you this time. I'm Kevin Nelson. Don't forget, you can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week with Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV Network.